Shalom Yasharala, this your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation, much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth, and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here lesson, which is I had to redo this here lesson because of copyright strikes. Copyright claims, but nevertheless, in the original video, I wound up showing a couple different video clips, of some news broadcasting. All right, so just the other day, you had this mass shooting down. I believe it was in Sacramento. All right, and we'll touch a little bit on that. But some of the other videos I wound up showing was, there was some scenarios that was going down to where, you had in one video you had this, a 14-year-old boy stabbed up this little cheerleader girl that was at the school. You had these two 13-year-old girls who got into a fight, and then one of them invited the other one over and wound up stabbing her to death. All right, you had some other teens that was going on, just a robbery and killing spree. It was like a girl and two boys, and the girl would walk up and ask the dude if he had a charger. The guy was like, no. And all of a sudden, another dude runs up on him and put a gun in his face and robbed him, man. All right, and they wound up killing somebody earlier that day. All right, and, I was going through a couple of these different stories, and one of the things that they all had pretty much in common was they was all pretty much kids. All these people were all pretty much under the age of 18. You did have one other scenario where there was a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and they don't really quite know what happened, but and this was some, I guess, local rapper or something. But anyway, with the story with the boyfriend and the girlfriend, they were adults, and in the story, they pretty much just said that the boyfriend went to bed, reading between the lines, it seemed like, everything was fine to an extent to where he felt safe enough to go to sleep around this here woman. All right, so he goes to bed, and the woman winds up going in there shooting the guy in the head, all right, while he was asleep. And then she had her daughter in the other room, and wound up chopping up, couldn't move his body, so she had to wind up chopping his body all up and put him in trash bags and threw him in the dumpsters all across the city. And they found part of his body in the landfill. That's how they wound up finding him. But and then going back to the original case where there was that mass shooting of these people that was out at the club or whatever they was doing in the downtown area. It's probably out at the club, but they was out in the street, and there happened to be a fight that broke out. All right, now in the middle of the fight, all you hear is just like, automatic or semi-automatic weapons going off. Just, people sound like they just letting off those AKs out there. All right, now, again, like I said, this video was taken down due to copyright strikes. It was a lot better for the visual to be there. All right, for you to see the type of times that we're living in right now. All right, now this lesson was based off of, walking circumspectly, man. All right, let me read this real quick. Isaiah 33:6, it says, and wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy time, and the strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. All right, so hey, you have to understand. Let me read this other precept real fast. Matthew 24 and verse let me read 10 and then also 12. And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. All right. And so, hey, you have, let me read this next one, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So in all these different scenarios that we were, that I wound up showcasing in the prior video, whether it be the boyfriend and the girlfriend. All right, like I said, he felt safe enough to go to sleep around this chick, because if you're in a scenario where it's somebody where it's like you worried about them about to kill you or something like that, you're not gonna go in the bedroom and go to sleep. All right, you might just pack your stuff up and leave the house for that night. You know what I'm saying? Like if some woman, let's just say hypothetically, some woman and some man are having domestic violent abuse inside the house, and the woman getting beat up and everything else like that, and she's fearing that this man's gonna kill her. Most of the time they just up and leave. They be scared they'll up and leave and everything else like that. But no, homeboy decides to go to sleep. And this is when the chick goes over there and shoot him in the head, man. I have very graphic scenes and everything else like that. But it says, and then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. And with the things that's going on in this here world, whether it be the pandemic, people losing their jobs, a lot of people dying. All right, just stress is building up into a lot of these people, man. All right, this is the city of mirth, but the mirth is going out of the land. All right, so hey, a lot of people are living on edge right now. So again, going back to wisdom and knowledge to be the stability of that time. All right, you should be walking circumspectly out here, man. You should be walking around, on your P's and your Q's, watching people and how you conduct yourself. All right, because you never know, when friends may become enemies, or just, people out in the world, man. They don't even have to be your friends or your enemies, man. All right, you have, like I said, in some of those scenarios in the videos I showcase, some of these people knew each other, about like the two little girls, the 13-year-old little girls that went to school with one another. All right, they knew each other. They apparently it was good enough friends where they got into a fight inside the school. And then one girl asked if she could stay the night at the other girl's house, and went over to the girl's house and stabbed her up. All right, you had another scenario of another teenager girl who wound up stabbing to death some old lady she was living with. So again, these are so-called people that was on quote unquote good terms with one another at some point in time. We don't know the whole story behind what was going on, and then when you seen the little one of the little girls who stabbed at the older lady she was living with, they showed her going into court, and she had a smile on her face, didn't know what she was, why she was in there and everything. She was all happy. They called her name. She's like, oh, that's me, and all of a sudden, again, Wednesday Minaj to be the stability of that time, going around thinking about these chicks, you chasing after these here women, never knowing what might be, your last move, man. All right. You have all these stories about these chicks that are, some of these women are on these social media sites basically selling the box. All right. You have stories like this as well, too, where, they may be selling the box and then all of a sudden they wind up dead. And then there's a mystery about what was going on. Well, you can pretty much put two and two together with those things, man. It's not necessarily just these guys going around killing chicks, but hey, what are these chicks out here doing to make these guys to kill them like that? Not victim blaming, but if a dude gonna just go around just be killing women, he just do that. He wouldn't leave a paper trail like, oh, I wouldn't bought this here service, and then so on and so forth. But you also have these women that are also pretending to be selling their body, but setting people up, man. Bringing them to hotel rooms and things like that. Then all of a sudden there's the jump out boys, and then now you all robbed, or you might try to fight for your own life and wind up putting somebody else to death, man. So, hey, you should be wise on how you move around out here, man, and who you moving with, because, hey, not everybody is good company to keep. And it's wise just to be around in the minute of the Lord, man, and just, be like in the movie The Matrix, be in and be out, handle your business, go to work, go to the grocery store, come on back, and not be hanging out in these places, man. Not to say that even, going back into, well, let me read this next precept real quick. Well, let me finish this off. Verse 12, it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And just briefly touching on that, again, watch how you walk around out here and watch your conduct out here with the things that you have going on, man. I try to tell people, I seen somebody that was walking through the store, they happened to be telling me about how they were in a grocery store or something like that, some kind of store, and they seen this little kid, 2 or 3 years old, or about 3 or 4 years old, walking, kind of by themselves. The parent was walking off, but they had so much space in between them. And it was a black woman all on the phone, not really paying attention to her child. And this other person was like, hey, I was scared. I seen this child back here by themselves and flipping out, trying to be worried about the well-being of the child. I was like, look, you need to mind your business. Don't worry about somebody else's child. And if they look like they're in danger and all that shit, it sound bad, but leave them the fuck alone. All right. Don't worry about whatever. Hey, they in some trouble. Let them call on the Most High, man. You stay out their way. You stay out of everybody else's business, because look, and then come to find out, when they had said something, they was so-called concerned about this child and was looking for this child's parent. The parent was walking around like, oh, that's my child. What you worried about? Blah, blah, blah. While the parent is on the phone, yeah, the parent was in the wrong, not really paying attention. The kid could have got snatched up. But now the parent then flipped on you. And now you, in a possibility of catching some, a gunshot wound, catching them hands or something else like that, because they want to flip out. You don't know these people got demons on them out here, man. All right, like I said, road rage and all these different accounts and things like that, man. You may see somebody at the red light and they on their cell phone, the light turned green and you blow the horn. Now all of a sudden this person flipping out, want to get out and start shooting you, man. All right, you don't know what these people are going through, what kind of shit they got going on in their life. They could have just lost their job, walked in on their old lady cheating on them, and now they on edge just waiting on the next person just to push their button, man. All right, they got videos of people just rolling around because of crazy shit didn't happen. All right, and just seeing the first random person they see, people they see walking down the road and just blowing their brains out just to put it up online, man. All right, there was that story I did a video on not too long ago about this dude who his old lady, his baby mama, had to ruin his life, said that he was molesting his kids and everything else like that because he didn't want to deal with her. He had a whole other woman or something else like that and messed up their relationship. So he wound up putting both these women to damn death, man, and then put himself to death, man. All right, so, hey, watch who you deal with, how you deal around these people, and it's not really a wild scenario to be trying to be, again, chasing these women out here, man, because a lot of these women, they got demons on them, man. Same with these guys, man. You could be out with your friends and stuff. Let me read this next precept real quick. in Isaiah. All right, this is Isaiah 19:2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." All right, and so hey, you have where neighbors and brothers are wanting to fight, and these so-called friends, people who know one another, man. All right, you could be out and about at the club or something else like that, and maybe your one friend got a little too drunk, and you ain't as drunk as he is, and he may, nah, man, I want to stay, get all out of line. And you like, bro, you embarrassing me, let's go. And then all of a sudden he heated, and you know what I'm saying? Now they want to fight. You want to fight with your own homie, and things just get out of hand, man. But you never know. So it's best to just how do I say, eliminate the possibilities of these things happening, man. All right, if somebody was to so-called interrogate you about what happened last night, and if they could boil down to, well, you shouldn't have had your ass out there. Well, what was you doing out there, man? All right, that's good enough advice for you not to even be there, man. If you have to answer that question, well, I don't know what I was doing out at the club last night. Like I was saying about the prior video I did to this, where they took it down. All right, there was what looked like, you could look it up. This just happened over the weekend. I believe it was like titled "Mass Shooting in Sacramento," but what happened was, what looked like it happened was, it looked like they was outside, the clubs was letting out, and then there was a fight that was going on. It looked like one person was getting into a fight with somebody else, then somebody else's friend jumped into the fight, and somebody else's friend jumped into the fight. It turned into a melee. You know how Jake get, just like in high school when there's a fight, everybody want to crowd around and look at the fight. Then all of a sudden it sounded like Iraq out in that bad boy, man. The shots started going off. All right, people started running, people started getting trampled, people started, cars started speeding off, wouldn't surprise me if somebody got ran over, but I believe it was quite a few people wound up, a lot of people got shot, and quite a few people died out there, man. All right, and, again, you may not have been the one that was in the fight. You could have been the one just standing around watching the fight. Or you could have just been somebody that was walking around, not even knowing there was a fight going on, just in the vicinity, but them bullets is just tearing shit up, man. Now you all laid out and put up some prayers. Well, what was you doing out there, man? All right, let me grab this precept real quick. Because, hey, we know that, let me grab this other precept. Hang on one second. Right here. Matthew 10:34 says, "Think not that I've come to send peace on the earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword." All right. And so, hey, things, are about to start turning up and getting ugly out here. It says, "For I have come to set a man at variance against his father, the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. A man's foe shall be they of their own household." So, hey, you could be in the house with your family and things go awry over just, and again, you have to understand, you're not dealing with flesh and blood, man. All right, we're warring not against flesh and blood, but, principalities and demons, all right? Because, again, you could be at the table. We've seen even with the toilet paper scenario, there was a little young Jake who wound up, I believe, shooting his grandmama or putting his hands on his grandmama because she was hiding toilet paper, man. All right, you can't think about with a sane mind why people would do some of these things like that. Another one was a Jake boy and his father. I think the father shot the son because he brought a gun into the house or something like that, man. So you have all these different scenarios to where, hey, man, there's going to be a great division. So how much more, and these are people in your own household, how much more are your so-called friends or somebody at the red light or somebody who might just want to go around and just be trying you? You might be at the bar having you a good time, just sitting there drinking, maybe watching the game or talking to somebody, and then somebody else just walk up on you because you look like a so-called easy target. Again, it's the demons that's inside of them that see your spirit, man. All right, now that all of a sudden they want to push you, and then now you force to defend yourself, but you don't realize that this dude came to throw it all away that night anyway, man. He came in there with a gun. You don't know what he's been going through, but them demons are on him, man. So, hey, again, it's best just to stay away from, all these people. Let me grab this other precept in Sirach. Are we right here? Where's this? Sirach 39? Sirach 39:28, it says, "There be spirits that are created for vengeance." All right. So like I said, you never know. Again, first of all, we're you out here dealing with these spirits, man. All right. So, they may look like, again, if you could have seen the original video that I did to this, looking at the faces of some of these quote unquote killers. And they were all, for the most part, all of them except for like two of them. The mass shooting, and then the girlfriend who stabbed up the boyfriend or shot the boyfriend and cut his body up. Everybody else beyond those two cases was all teenagers, man. All of them was under the age of 18. It was like 17, 16, 15, 14, and 13, man. All right, and they had this other girl, somebody ran up and threw acid in her face, melted her face off, man. So, man, you got all these different spirits created for vengeance. She said she just came home and some dude had a cup and just threw some damn acid in her face, man. All right, so, hey, it wasn't no confrontation. She just was coming home. But then again, you never know what people might have been going through. You never know what kind of situations you were dealing with, man. You could be out here trying to get some skins from some chick, telling her all kind of whatever, just to hit it and then quit it, leave her alone. And all of a sudden she feel hurt or something. Now she want to come back at you and do some harm to you, man. All right. Or, hey, vice versa, man. You could just be out here into anything, and all these things could just spark it into people's minds. I'm about to go and get vengeance on them, man. Oh, they didn't cut me out. They didn't cut me in line, cut me off in traffic. Again, road rage is crazy right about now, man. You cut somebody off at the light, you turn without signaling, you brake check somebody, all these different things, man. Hey, people are on edge right now, man. These demons are, hang on, let me come back to this. Matthew 24 and 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So we're at a time and a place in the world where, hey, this evil is at the highest level, man. All right, verse 22, and except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved, but for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. So now is not the time for you to be, walking around. And there was another article I seen where they were saying that these women, young women are getting attacked and, taken advantage of and things like that. But hey, this is what's wrong with you people, man. A lot of you people here in America, again, the city that dwells carelessly, man. A lot of these women felt comfortable walking around, half naked in the middle of the night and everything else like that. But hey, now you have to the point where, you have these different mindsets that are at odds with one another to a certain extent, where men are hating women, women are hating men. All right. Women are hyper sexualized, men are undersexed. And hey, all kind of things are going bad, man. You might find out that your old lady's on OnlyFans or something else like that. Then you get all upset and you want to go and snatch her up out the frame and shit like that, man. Things like this are happening day in and day out. So again, watch how you walk. Watch who you are around. Watch the type of company that you keep. Watch where you keep that company at, man. Like I said, man, you could just be going out somewhere, driving Uber, all right, picking up passengers, but on a club night, at the end of the night where the club is getting out, man. Think about the type of spirits you're going to be picking up, man. All right, they're going to pretty much all be drunk. You might not never know. They might want to try to rob you, shoot you, kill you. Just look at YouTube, all these horror stories of Uber drivers, man. People getting attacked because they playing the wrong type of music in the car. People getting attacked because they don't want to go make this here pit stop or that stop, or the person in the car want to cancel the ride and everything else like that, man. Hey, man, it's just best just to leave these people alone, man. And you get into a confrontation with somebody, just let them go, man. Somebody cut you in line, and just let them have that shit, man, because you might not never know how these things will all pop off, man. Not saying, oh, you should be be soft out there and things like that, but hey, don't feed into a lot of this here madness, man. All right, so let's go back to this here Sirach, and we'll close out here shortly. Sirach 39 and 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes, and in time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So hey, these spirits are created for vengeance. They just death spirits, man, going around putting bringing death to people, man. All right, so again, that's how you have to look at it, man. These are all possible agents of destruction that you walking around, man. Oh man, let me just go ahead and you got to be on your Clark Kent shit, man. Be in, be out, just like in the Matrix. Hey, if you got to go to the grocery store, hey, just go to the grocery store. What I do is I have my my headphones in, just be listening to the word, man. I'm all in the grocery store, something else like that, all up in traffic. You see somebody riding up on your ass or something else like that. They all speeding. Just get over, man. Let them have that shit, man. Another thing I seen, two big ass pickup trucks flying down the interstate, cutting each other off, going back and forth. Then all of a sudden, one of them pull over the side of the road. The other one pull over the side of the road. Homeboy jump out the damn truck and start walking down on the old boy, man. I was like, some people like, oh, let me stop and see what's going on. But nah, the way homeboy hopped out that truck, like he had that piece on him, man. All right, so hey, it could have just got busy right there on the interstate, man. So again, you need to watch how you walk and who you're around in these times, man. And again, you don't necessarily have to be the one where it's like, well, so-and-so had called me out at the bar and then I swung on this nigga. Now this nigga put out a gun. It ain't even got to be a scenario like that. Again, it could be, you just driving Uber late at night, going to go pick somebody up from the bar or something like that, and they want to rob you or something, or hell, you might just be waiting outside and gunshots start going off and you just quote unquote innocent bystander. But hey, whosoever perish innocently, man. All right. So it's just best for you just to be out of these scenarios like that. All right. Verse 28 again, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes, and in the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hell and famine and death, all these was created for vengeance. So hey, whether you may have certain scenarios where apartment building might catch on fire, house or car might catch on fire. All right, you might die in a storm. You might even starve to death, man. All right, death, and it says all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. So hey, this is how the wicked are being called off the earth right about now, man, in all these different ways. And the Lord has sent forth these vessels for destruction. All right, these spirits created for vengeance to go out and go do His work, man. So again, like I said, man, it's best for you not to be in these scenarios, these areas and things like that, because you might not never know what might happen to you, man. All right, that should be one of your ways of walking in wisdom, man. Man, if I go out and I go do this, go meet up with this chick, go in this whole hotel room. Hey, who's not to say that I don't really know her like that. I don't know which hotel, I don't know these spots like that. Who's not to say that she might not have some dudes in there waiting to rob me and might want to put me to death. You know what I'm saying? Or if I go out to the bar or something like that, who's not to say it don't end like a regular Jake night where somebody step on somebody's shoes and get offended, and then all of a sudden it's a shootout, and then, I wind up getting shot. I had a friend from the world, when we were pretty much just graduated from high school, man. That's what pretty much happened to him. We was in a club, all right, and there was a fight that broke out in the club. Some dude was getting stomped out. Then he wound up running out the club and came back in the club and just started randomly shooting. And then all of a sudden, everybody just started running. And the friend that I had from the world, all of a sudden, he just started getting real tired and short of breath. Come to find out, he got hit with a stray bullet, man. And both his lungs collapsed. He almost died. He had to get what they call bay flighted out, man, on the helicopter ride, man. But again, just being an innocent bystander, man. So, hey, we're a hell of a lot older now than that was. But, those type of places and events aren't wise to be around anyway, man. Again, go look up these Uber nightmare stories and things like that, man. If you're going to do Uber, do it at a reasonable time. Yeah, the money is you get more rides and stuff, I guess, at nighttime and things like that. But again, look at the type of demons that you have to be rolling around with, man. They're all drunk, throwing up in your car, and, might want to start fighting. You might have some chick that might want to holler at you, try to be all passing sexual advances on you while she drunk, then sober up. Then all of a sudden you got a lawsuit on yourself, man. Now you got to defend yourself in the court of law because some drunk chick came onto you and then flipped the story around, man. So again, man, you got to watch how you walk around in these times. But I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I'm going to say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth, never will. And salutation, much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I'm going to say, stay strong, Shalom.